Well, good morning. Uh, a fellow asked me on Facebook this morning about creating custom templates for plan files and also layout files. You can see here in my X11 uh, splash screen here that I've got I do a lot of 11 by 17 layouts. I have a local client here in Austin, a remodeling company, Blue Diamond Remodeling, and they like most of their plans in 11 by 17. So you'll see I create a lot of those because that's what they like. Also, I'm going to go over here to File Explorer on my Windows PC, and I'm going to go over to where I store my plan files. And you see, I've got a lot of different applications. Clients come to me with the plans as old as version 9.5 and lots of home designer titles. And I try to keep those all separated. And here's X11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and so forth. And that should be relatively obvious. I help lots of different kind of people all over the world, and they have different versions and different needs and so forth. But let's just take a look. I'm going to go here to X11, and this is the Blue Diamond folder. And see, this is the one I just worked on yesterday. You can see, yeah, that's a PDF that I made. Here's the layout file, and it says client name, and then the paper size .layout. Sometimes I'll add the date also to differentiate, different versions. With the remodeling jobs, they kind of develop over time, and so I try to keep things separate. Here's some photos taken of the site and so forth. Okay. So most of his are going to be 11 by 17. And let's see. It's a guy in Rhode Island I did a job for recently. Okay, his 11 by 17. Okay, well, let's go through the process. Let me go back to X11. If I wanted, sometimes I'll have a client in Kansas or Oklahoma or Michigan or wherever, and they already have a template plan, and they'll send me a copy of that template plan. Let me see if I can find, I think I'll just open the File Explorer, and there's a good example here of a client I did a lot of work for in Savannah, Georgia. Let's see, I want to go to plans. Now he still uses X6. And yeah, there he is, One Stop Remodeling in Savannah, Georgia. And these are the clients I worked on recently. You can see these are all like last year except for this one. Now, I don't think I've created yeah, you see I've got a Braxley as-built and a Braxley.plan. And let's see. Okay, see here, one-stop profiles. There's a profile plan that he worked out and he shared with me, and I used that for his new plans. And this is a layout done back in X4 that he likes me to use for his layouts. I don't remember what the size is. There's lots of reasons to have a customized .plan file. Like, I always do that myself. First thing I do when I install Chief, a new version of Chief, is I'll go over here to File, Open Plan, and then I'm going to go to Documents on a PC. I don't know dick about Macs. I never used one, so sorry about that. You have to figure it out on your own on a Mac. But on a PC, you go to My Documents and then find the data folder for the version you're using. See, I've got a few versions here. Already kind of shown you I've got lots of different versions of Chief. Here's X11. And then you go inside there to the templates folder. And let me make this a little bit larger so it's a little easier to see. And see, like I showed in the video I made a day or two ago, all the old templates are stored here and they get automatically installed in this folder. But what I do when I'll open the profile plan directly, and then I'll change it up to the way I like to draw myself. See, like, I don't have all this grid stuff turned on, this stuff here. I never use it. So I turned it off in my profile plan, and a bunch of other changes. I changed the, we'll go over here to Roof Tools. Well, let me do it properly. Go over here to Edit Default Settings. And roof. And the most common pitch that I design with, especially for remodeling, is 512. I just found that to be true. So I set that up, and other things like the materials over here on the roof surface. I changed the default to this and other things like that. Let's go over here to dimensions. And for remodeling, I use this. And I have particular settings in it. This particular arrow type I like, and on and on and on. I go through all of these and set it up the way I currently like on the windows, that slate color that's part of the default window. I get rid of that. I've never seen a slate colored window. I don't know about you, but I've never seen one. I suppose they do exist, but I change all of these things up the way I commonly draw, and then I'll save the profile plan. So that's a profile plan. And then every time I go over here to File, New Plan, it opens a copy of that. And let's go over here to Edit the Preferences, I think it is, and Folders. See where it's, oh, New Plans, there it is. See, it opens a copy of the profile plan, and I've got this customized here for the layout. I created a 11 by 17, because that's the one I use the most because of the remodeling work that I do. And so I've got this set as my default. And I don't use metric units very often at all. Let's go over here and open the layout and see what we get. We'll go over here, New Layout. It's not real fancy, but it's got automatically got my logo in it. That's about all. And it's sized for 11 by 17. And I just set that up because I use 11 by 17 so often. Okay. Now, how would you go about, so if you wanted to create a profile plan for a client, what you would want to do is go over here to File, Open Plan, and go to this Chief Premier X11 Data Templates folder and open your profile plan. And now I'm going to go over here and Save As. And you may want to save it to your templates folder, or you may want to save it to a client's folder. That's really up to you on how you like to organize things. But let's change the name on this to something that makes sense. I'm going to change this for this test just to client. client.plan and save it into this folder. And then you can customize it for that particular client or that particular project. Now, for a particular project, what I would do is I wouldn't save it here. I would save it, a particular. Well, let me just cancel out of that. Let's say I'm going to start a new remodeling project. Well, I would take this profile plan and then I would go to Google Earth, or if I had some photographs, I'd figure out what the exterior walls look like, and the roofs and the flooring, and I would set all those defaults up over here and edit the default settings, and just go through here. What's the cabinets going to look like in the as-built or the proposed plan, and set all that up. And if I was doing the as-built, I would set it up for the way the cabinets currently look, and on through all of these defaults. What are the most common window sizes, and are they set in brick or stone, so there wouldn't be casing on the outside, and I'd have a brick ledge here, and all this kind of thing you have to take into consideration, and then save it into this plan. Then on a blank plan, yeah, this is a profile. Let me close this. Go new plan. And then when I go save, then I would go to which version I'm using and which client. And then I would create a new folder. And then I would save it into this folder. Client name dash as built. And then once I add the as-built is relationally correct to the degree necessary for the remodeling job, then I would save that as and call it client name proposed, and then a date. Some of these remodeling jobs go through 6, 7, 8 different revisions, and I'll rename them and date them so that they can be separate. Because oftentimes the client will go through 6, 7 versions, and on version 6 they say, well, I think me and the wife, well, we like version 3, and if you didn't say version 3, you're screwed. So I recommend saving a bunch of versions, and hard drive space is not expensive, so I'm going to cancel out of that. I just wanted to show you the process. And the way my hard drive is let's go back to plans. We'll go X11. Let's see. This is a commercial project, and let's see. This is actually a new construction. These are all remodeling jobs in here. These are remodeling jobs, another local business. And this is a custom home. And this is a custom home. This is just what I've done recently. In X11, I've done a bunch of other work in other versions. I've done a bunch of projects this year in X8. I have a client locally who is mostly remodeling. This fella here, he still uses X8, so I use X8. So these are all kind of scattered across the versions. People use different softwares than they have. Let's do a layout. I think you get the idea on custom profile plans or custom dot plans for a specific project or a specific client and the way they like to draw and so forth. It's all set up and saved in a profile plan, which they can share a copy of with you, or you can make one and customize it to your particular needs for that client. Let's take a look over here. I showed you, if I just go new layout, then I get this 11 by 17 thing, and I set that up over here under edit preferences and new plans. I think it's new plans. Well, there's a profile. Yeah, there it is. See, 11 by 17 template. You hit the browse button, and there it is. And I don't remember if I made some of these or not. I think this one here is one that I made. I'm not going to set it as a default. But let me just go over here to File, Open Layout. And this just gives you a browse. This is an 11 by 17 for, Blue Diamond Remodeling. And that's the client's name, and that's the client's .layout file. Now what I'm going to do is go over here to Documents, find X11 data, and then we want to go to Templates and Layout Borders. And you can open any of these directly. Now here's one that I've 24 by 36 that I specialize with. Let's take a look at that. I'm just going to open that. Okay. It's not even very, oh, I see it's missing my logo. So I'm going to replace the file. I move stuff around, and I'm sometimes my own worst enemy. I'm going to go over here to where that logo file of mine is stored and reassociate it. I think it's over in here, Documents, Personal. Yeah, there it is. DJP logo, white PNG. And there it is. See, since the last time I used this file, I moved where this was located, and so it got disassociated. Now it's associated again. And you can see, first thing I do when I open a layout, I never trust myself or Chief that much, is I'll get and make sure and verify the size. That's 2 by 3. So sure enough, this is an architectural D 24 by 36 inch layout. I'm not going to save this. I guess I will save it because it's just being a template. Okay. Let's say you wanted to create your own template layout. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to File, Open Layout, and then go to navigate to Documents, X11 data, or the version you're currently using. If you don't use X11, you would go to, X9 data or X5 data or whatever it is you're using. And templates, it's always templates. And then these are some of these were automatically created when I installed the software. Some of these I've made and forgotten why and so forth. But the safest thing to do is go into Imperial Layouts. And most of the sizes are here. Like here's an 18 by 24 that I made, 11 by 17. I don't remember what size architectural B is. Let's take a look at it. I just don't remember what architectural B is. But I can go over here to my, yeah. Okay. And I can quickly figure out what size it is. Okay, it's 12 by 18. Okay. A size I used to use when I had a printer of that size was 13 by 19. And so what I'm going to do is take this and save as, just for fun. I'm going to call it 13 by 19. 13 by 19 dot layout. I'm going to save it in here and under layout borders, Imperial Layouts. See, and now it's no longer a generic name. Now it's a specific 13 by 19, but this is not 13 by 19. So what I'm going to do next is go over to File, Print, Drawing Sheet Setup. File, Print, Drawing Sheet Setup, left click, and you get a dialog. A lot of things in Chief run dialogues, and this is no exception. And this is what the current file is set to. I'm going to set it to 13 by 19 and change the drawing sheet. Now we'll click all this other stuff. I'm just going to leave it alone, and you'll see the drawing sheet got slightly larger. And if you're careful sort like me, I'm going to check and see what I don't. Okay, that's 13, and we'll measure on this axis, and 13 by 19. That's exactly what I ordered. Now I'm going to take and marquee select the CAD and text. Oh, I need to be on page 0. Page 0 is where all this stuff actually is. Now I'm going to marquee select the text and CAD, and I'm going to block it. This is just an easier way to handle all this stuff. And then I'm going to grab a corner. This blue line is, of course, your printable area, so you want to stay inside that. I'm going to go a little bit outside of it. I want to go about 1/16 of an inch from the edge, and do the same thing up here. Yeah, that's about right. Now I'm going to move this with the arrow keys. Well, that's okay. The arrow keys move it too much, so we want it to get about 1/16 of an inch. Now it's hanging over the edge, so I'm going to unblock this. Now that I've got the overall size about right, I'm going to click on this polyline and move it back, and click on this one and move it back. See, now I've got an automatic dimension here. I'm going to set this to 1/8. I think that's what I usually do. Okay, that's not workable, so I'm just going to set it about 1/16 past the printable edge line, and then this polyline I'm going to set to 1/16. I think that usually works out pretty well. And now this is set up for 13 by 19 inch use. And if I wanted to add a logo, see drawings provided by, okay, I'm going to go here to File, Import, Image, left click, and then we're going to go to where I keep my logo file. And if you have a logo, then you just keep it in a particular place on your hard drive, and then so you know where it is, and then this is not difficult to do. Okay, and mine is on E, Archive Plans and Docs, Documents, Personal, and there it is. So we'll bring that in, orientate it, resize it a little bit. You want it a little bit large, because if you take something and have to enlarge it to fit, then it gets pixelated. Better to start really large and then downsize than it is to start too small and then upsize, because you lose clarity of the image. I'm using the corner handles. I'm going to move that over just a smidgen. Okay, that's now ready to use. I'm going to click on that image. I think I'm going to save it in the plan or dot layout, so it doesn't become disassociated. And now this template 13 by 19 is ready to use. Simple. If you wanted to further specialize this for a client, then you do a save as, excuse me, and then navigate to where your client folder is, which in my case is over here on E, plans and docs, plans, version, and then create a folder for this new client and then stick it in there. For now, I'm just going to leave it in my templates folder. So I hope this clarifies matter. It's not real complicated. What gets complicated is this. This is complicated. The process of creating a profile, a template plan or a template layout is relatively simple and straightforward. It's just exacting. You have to do it exactly the way I've shown you, or you're just creating trouble for yourself. So I hope this helps some people. I like to help people, and I like to shoot my mouth off, and so I hope it helps some people. And if it does, then it will have been worth doing. And from Texas in the United States of America, love to you all, and thanks for watching.